BYRN on the NASDAQ, currently trading at a price of $14.02, about a $306 million market cap. And Byrna is a non-lethal defense technology company that offers handheld personal security devices and shoulder-fired launchers and projectiles, including chemical irritant, kinetic, and inert rounds. I believe about 90% of their sales are from like their hand launchers, whereas 10% is from their shoulder, like more rifle launchers. I did interview the CEO, Brian, last week in Vegas, and he gave me a good rundown on the history of the business. So just to catch everyone up to speed, Byrna went live selling its Byrna hand launcher in July of 2019 and was selling a few kits per day. And they started really getting some traction after they paid some YouTubers to review the gun, which increased the website sessions and sales. But what really gave them a dramatic boost in traction was when Sean Hannity from Fox News endorsed Byrna on his show. But given the supply chain difficulties following 2020, the company was having difficulties fulfilling orders, but they have since added capacity and are doing better now. And this was kind of a change as well. At the end of Q1 of 2023, they got notified by Facebook and Google that they could no longer advertise their non-lethal launchers on these platforms. So as you can see here from the image that I have up on the screen, website traffic took quite a hit in Q2 and Q3 of 2023. But they did pivot with a focus on celebrity influencers to spread the word of their products. And on top of Sean Hannity, they ended up getting successful partnerships with Judge Jeanine Pirro, Bill O'Reilly, and Glenn Beck, which have delivered pretty impressive return on ad spend, or ROAS, of more than 5 times. So looking at the financials, it's also important to note that the company sells direct to consumers and also to law enforcement agencies, but a majority of revenue comes from direct to consumer channel. And looking at the last quarter, which was Q1 of 2024, revenue was up 98% to $16.7 million, which was driven by the advertising strategy change made last September. Adjusted EBITDA was $1.2 million compared to a loss last year. Net income was a gain of just $17,000 compared to a loss of $2.2 million in Q1 of 2023. But if we look a little deeper here, the only reason for the GAAP net income was essentially due to a gain of $280,000 in interest income because they have net cash on the balance sheet, which we'll go over shortly. And cash flow from operations was a gain of $3.9 million compared to a loss of $3.4 million for the same period last year. And looking at the valuations, trailing 12-month EPS and adjusted EBITDA were negative. So just looking at a price to cash flow basis here, the stock trades at just under 30 times cash flow. And moving to the balance sheet, it remains very healthy with $22.4 million in net cash, which equates to about $1.02 net cash per share. And when I asked management about the potential use for cash, they said possibly for opening up more stores, as they did open up a Byrna retail store in Las Vegas, which has had good success. And they also said that they would probably use the cash to add more capacity. So to conclude here, overall, I think that Byrna has good trajectory in its financials. The business is growing its revenue via celebrity endorsements, has been growing or has been cash flow positive in the last few quarters, is just about break even on a GAAP net income basis, and possesses a strong cash-rich balance sheet. Plus, I did question management. They said that they do believe that they will be, GAAP positive or GAAP profitable in the coming year. Now, the company has continued opportunities selling to law enforcement agencies, and it also is bringing on a new compact launcher product, which could appeal to more consumers, such as women who want a smaller device. But I think some risks that I would like to highlight is that, right now, sales growth is reliant on these successful celebrity endorsements. And given the company is potentially looking to open up more Byrna retail stores, this is a risk if the storefronts are less successful than the Byrna store in Las Vegas. Again, I like the trajectory of the business. It is a little early, I would say, for our GARP investment strategy, but it's certainly a name that I will continue to follow and hopefully interview Brian again at a future date. And, maybe he's going to be in Las Vegas next year for the Planet Micro as well. I'll definitely be booking a call with him then.
So how does this actually work? So this is a non-lethal projectile?
Yep.
So it's like a rubber bullet.
Yeah, exactly. Basically a
Okay.
rubber bullet. I mean, they have different kinds, but basically a rubber bullet. And
But
it's,
it's not a
again,
stun
CO2.
gun.
No, not a stun
Okay.
gun. No,
Interesting.
exactly.
Yeah, it looks like it's your whatever rubber bullet and then CO2 cartridges.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. It is actually interesting because it looks like
too, Ryan.
Oh, you can go.
Sorry, keep going. No, you go.
So it does look like it's actually available in Canada. That would be something which I would be wondering is where the regulations matter in different countries, because some countries you obviously can't own a handgun or very limited access. So could it sell there? Could that be an alternative there, which could appeal to those markets as well?
I'm guessing that would be regulated up here in Canada. If it's available up here, do you know if it's available to consumers? Because my guess
it says legal in 10 provinces.
Really? It looks like I can ship it. So
most of their sales are in the U.S. though. So
yeah, well, of course,
but yes, they are. Yeah.
So legal in 10 provinces, and you don't have to have a firearms license?
No.
That's what it says, yeah.
Okay.
No, you do not. But yeah.
I think as far as the financially, I think you pointed out it's a bit early for us because the earnings, and the cash flow isn't where we'd like to see it right now. That's why we interview these companies in advance, keep a book on them. And if they hit an inflection point, or if they hit a point where we think they're trading at reasonable values and have growth going forward, then they might make it into our research and be a recommendation to our clients. This is one that we just continue to monitor over the near term and see if they do hit that.